Straight into the Hankook Formula V's now, and the single-seater category is the only national championship category on the Extreme Festival. And with a nice field of cars, it looks like problems right from the word go for our championship leader.
Judging by the state of your driver's suit, you're having a weekend from hell, aren't you?
Yes, you can tell me about it. We haven't stopped working since yesterday morning, and it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. You know, we had that big off at East London, and it seems like we've just got problems since then.
Because the chassis got a bit slightly damaged. It was a big off that, by the way.
It was a huge off. Yeah, we found a crack in the chassis. Hopefully that sorted out my handling. Now we just got to get the car to go.
Fantastic to see the welcome return of Anthony Taylor back into the field as well. And looking forward to seeing all the action now as we go on board here for the start. And look at that, how quickly he goes to second gear, trying to avoid all the wheel spin, getting through the field. And Jaco Schrix has certainly got this car sorted out, but looking on the inside of Tristan Alford, wasn't quite able to make it stick up the inside, but a good start here from Greg Wilson. On his tail, Gert van den Berg. There comes Alan Holm. And it looks like the top of the Laser Sprint and Office Direct cars is, of course, driven by Alan Holm and a spinner. It's Peter Hills in Renexcon corner, the one he sponsors. He gets it all wrong, but a great recovery, and not such a good one there for Martin Singleton. He's still stuck in the kit editor with a bit of work to do to get back on track, but here we are, back on track, headed through Castrol Edge corner. And the action is starting to heat up there between Holm and Masnak. How far is Jaco? There he is, coming up on Henk. Up onto the braking marker. Swanepoel will have to be very wily, and unfortunately not good enough. Look at this bit of maneuvering through here. Side-by-side action between two single-seaters. Do not lock wheels there, gentlemen. It could get completely out of hand and a bit airborne if you do. Ben Pienaar, nice start from him too. As he comes out of turn 7, heads down towards 8 now. New leader, Gert van den Berg sneaking through there, and Wilson has gone missing. Oh, where has Greg Wilson got to? He is nowhere to be seen, and Masnak is the first of those cars, so looks like issues for the man who was on the front row. He must have had a problem up at the top of the hill. We didn't quite pick up on it, but as soon as we find him, we'll let you know exactly what happened. And there goes his teammate off too. Oh, Masnak. Not a good effort here from both the Forza cars as they both then ended up in Kinsey Litter. One down in turn 2, the other one we think up at turn 5. This is the view from Schrix as he comes out of 3. Heads through Speed and Sound Sweep up towards Castrol Edge corner. And it's Laser Sprint Office Direct at the front end with Gert van den Berg sandwiched in between the two of them, because can you believe it? Jaco Schrix is up into 3rd place. It looks like 4th, but they're coming up onto the back end of Barry Duplessis, who's also had a spin out around the circuit. The 12 car there is Ramchanda, and Lucian Ramchanda getting better and better every time he goes. And speaking of going off again, wow, Barry Duplessis is having a tough day in the saddle, that is for sure. Change up again at the front. Oh, Alan Holm and Jaco Schrix now. 1 and 2 through Goldwagen. Gert van den Berg was at the front. He's now lost out 2 positions and is under pressure from Taylor. Anthony Taylor is loving life back in this field of very competitive Formula V drivers. Tristan Alford just behind them, looking for a chance to close up on these first 4. But the most dangerous man on track right now has got to be that second car on the circuit. The number 4 Office Direct Laser Sprint Rima, and he is being absolutely hounded. Alan Holm, the leader, by his teammate Jaco Schrix, who's made his way through the field rapidly and is now looking to take the lead. Back marker is going to come into play once again as they get to the top of the hill. Side-by-side action here. Alan Holmes holding the inside line, but he had nowhere to go there, Jaco Schrix, due to that back marker coming into play. Changes down the gearbox. Look how hard he works in the cockpit there, playing around with that very small gear lever and eventually getting it up into the gear he needs. Gert van den Berg is under massive pressure now because all of a sudden Taylor's closed in. And there comes Tristan Alford. Remember, Alford's come off a victory down at the last round, so certainly is fired up and is very confident. Is there enough time? Unfortunately not. The flag comes out and Holm wins out, beating Schrix and van den Berg to the line. Wow, what an awesome start to the day's racing for the Hankook Formula V's. Holm taking the victory ahead of his teammate Jaco Schrix, who sorted those problems out. Van den Berg, Taylor, Alford and Benningfield. Then in 7th place, Sim Grobler. Greg Wilson eventually recovered to 8th with Masnak, his teammate behind. Peter Hills, our turn 1 spinner. He was there in 10th. Super effort from Ramchanda keeps him ahead of Vaughan Hills, Calvin Steinhobel and Sean van der Linde. Straight into race 2. Down to turn 1. This time I think it might be a little bit closer between those 2 Office Direct Laser Sprint teammates. The Renexcon boys are going to go at it too, and you can see Peter Hills does not want to spin down at Renexcon corner this time out. And now Taylor with a late braking and evasive maneuvering had to be done by Sim Grobler. Can you believe that? And there's a spinner. It's Alan Holm. Alan Holm has spun out all on his own. Sim, I'm not quite sure if he was helped out by anybody there, but unfortunately he has spun. So he is now right at the back of the field and his teammate is right at the front. Tristan Alford looking to improve on 5th place in the first one. He now has to try and get through another 5 cars ahead, but it's Jaco Schricks who hangs on for now at the top of the hill into Sassel Corner. Hard braking here, looking on the inside. Is there anybody on his inside? No, he just maintains the lead as they come out. But look how close Gert van den Berg is. He is right there and waiting to pounce, as is Taylor, as is Alford. That's how close the first 4 are. Anyone makes a mistake and they're going to get eaten up. Gert van den Berg not getting quite the same start as he did in the first one, and on his tail comes the 2 Reflex Solution cars of Masnak and Wilson. They are also looking to improve after race 1's offs, so certainly lots of pressure on some of the drivers. Not so much on the man out front. He's already got a 2nd place in the bag. He maintains his lead in this championship, and he knows Alan Holm, one of his closest rivals and his teammate. Oh, and a little nose cone nudge there. That was Sim Krobler just touching the nose on the back end of Gert van den Berg. Heads up, Barry, incoming. Here we go, Alan Holmes sneaking through. Renexcon corner. Look at the Automecha car though. The nose cone is slightly higher than what it should be. It might affect the handling ever so slightly. Shouldn't really worry Sim Krobler. He has oodles of experience when it comes to these single-seaters, and he even looks to go on the inside. Wow! The old man of the mountains has snuck through, and he's showing the youngsters the way around. Zwartkops, go Sim Krobler, you good thing. Up into 1st place, Jaco Schricks gave him lots of room. He realized how quick that car was going, and at the back end here you can see nice little battles as all of a sudden Calvin Steinhobel gets thrown into the mix for the first time. Good to see the youngster right up there and fighting out with Vaughan Hills, Sean van der Linde and Lucian Ramchanda. Ben Pinon not quite on the same form as the first one. He had issues in that first lap incident, I think, with Alan Holm, and the 2 of them, I think, might have actually come together. But here's Schricks trying to come back at the leader. Sim Krobler goes very wide, and look at that, positions his car to perfection in the middle of the circuit. The battle, though, is for 3rd place. Here comes Wilson, looking for a way through on Alford. The youngster was not bettered by Wilson down in East London, and it looks like the same thing's going to apply here as Alford goes left, right, and tries to keep out Greg Wilson from sneaking through and possibly spoiling his podium. 1 and 2 in the bag right now, and checkered flag about to be coming as they head down towards the final corner. Goldwagen is where it might happen, but no, the Automecha car hangs onto the inside line. Sim Krobler is going to win this one out. What an awesome dice. Krobler wins. Jaco Schricks comes through for 2nd, and eventually down in 3rd place. Alford was able to keep out both Greg Wilson and Gert van den Berg. A magnificent effort there from the youngster. The Renexcon driver Peter Hills comes through for 6th. In 7th place, General Energy Systems Brad Benningfield, ahead of Alan Holm, who recovered up to 8th. Masnak in 9th, and Henk Swadepoel, the 2nd Renexcon car, in 10th. Once again down in 13, 14 and 15. Nice battles between Hills, van der Linde and Barry Duplessis. Ben Pinon 16, Singleton 17 and Taylor with the DNF. He managed to catch up with the Automecha man Sim Krobler, race 2's winner.
It was I got a great start, and it was a good race for me. The car was great, it handled well and very quick. Had a great race with Jaco. The last 2 laps was very tight. I just fortunately get it at the end.